Welcome to Jerry World in Arlington, Texas, a sports and entertainment palace that stands alone and has raised the bar to an entirely new level. Barber's the back, and Barber with a path to the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. The fake this time to Barber. They swing it to the outside, and it's caught by Witten for a touchdown. Tony Romo loves to go to Jason Witten. And that's a pass that will be juggled in the end zone and caught for a touchdown by Manningham. And now Act 2, the second half from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer, and maybe the biggest crowd to ever see a National Football League game. That's to be determined. The record was set in Mexico City back in 2005 at Azteca Stadium. Largest crowd ever in the United States would have been 102,000 and change at the LA Coliseum all the way back in 1957. Giants get the ball. Beeler to kick off. This is Sonoris Moss. And he takes the ball up to the 17-yard line. And let's check in with Andrea.
Well, Giants had only 12 rushing yards in the first half. I asked Tom Coughlin about it. He said we have to get consistency, a better mix of run and pass. That will also help his defense, which has looked quite gassed. Speaking of the defense, Justin Tuck still in the locker room getting x-rays on an injured shoulder. They hope to have him back, Tom Coughlin told me. Dominic Hickson is out. It is very hot and humid down here. At least 4 players on both teams got IVs.
And they'll begin, thank you, Andrea, with Jacobs the back. Remember, the Giants came out passing tonight, and with success on that first drive, which resulted in a field goal. Brandon Jacobs runs into his own men and then is able to cut it back and turn a 1-yard gain into a gain of 9. Stopped by Gerald Sensabaugh, the safety. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Well, that really was the story of the first half as far as the New York Giants were concerned. They had to totally rely on Eli Manning. Brandon Jacobs really just not doing much at all. He had 8 carries for 8 yards, but they come right out and try and establish it in the second half. You can almost hear Tom Coughlin at halftime saying, all right, guys, we know who we are. Let's get back to it here.
2nd down and 1. Jacobs around the right side this time. A little stiff arm, breaks a tackle, a 1st down, and a lot more. And it's taken out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Taken out of bounds there after stiff-arming Brooking. Sensabaugh with the tackle, and it's a gain of 31 yards for him.
But this is really on DeMarcus Ware on the outside to your right. He gets caught up inside. His job is contained. You cannot let Brandon Jacobs get outside like that. Once he gets into the secondary, almost impossible to get him on the ground. Check out the stiff arm. It doesn't matter who it is, linebacker, defensive lineman, whatever. When he sticks that big paw out there, you are in trouble.
And on top of that, Terrence Newman, 41, will come into the picture, and Newman gets hurt on the play. There he is, 41, runs into his own man. Runs into Brooking after Brooking got stiff-armed, and Terrence is still down on the turf.
Yeah, Terrence Newman got faked out or was willingly faked out. Sometimes you see Jacobs coming down the field. It's like, please make a move. But he did. He was very open about it, wasn't he, the other day? He said, he goes, hey, I was in a meeting, and I said, guys, don't let your ego get involved with this thing. If you're a linebacker, just cut this guy. Get him on the ground. Don't leave him to us to tackle. He said everybody in the room started laughing. He said, hey, I'm not joking. You guys have to handle him up front.
It's about as much fun as going the wrong way on a freeway with a truck coming at you.
Keith Brooking coming over 8 straight years. He led the Atlanta Falcons in tackles, and Brady James 4 straight years led the Cowboys in tackles, and in the first game they were neck and neck, James with 12 and Brooking with 11. So they like the combination, and they've been playing great in the first half, but start the second half it has been all Brandon Jacobs.
Check on Newman. There's his replacement. That's Mike Jenkins.
Not a huge loss. They have 2 good cornerbacks backing up Terrence Newman.
So 40 yards on 2 rushing plays to start the second half. The ball is at the Cowboy 42-yard line. And they flip it out here, and that's another slip tackle by Manningham, and Manningham will pick up a first down. Mario Manningham, he's become a master at this. We saw him do it last week. It led to a touchdown. Third time he's done it tonight.
And really a horrible throw that time by Eli. Led him right into the tackle, and yet somehow Manningham escaped that. He is really, they've been looking hard, obviously, with Plexico Burris gone now, and they've been trying to come up with a #1 receiver. And I think Mario Manningham, from what we've seen the first 2 weeks, is stepping to the front of the class.
6 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown tonight. Corner blitz. It's overrun. And here comes Bradshaw. And he finally gets taken down by Sensabaugh. But Hamlin came racing through from the outside, ran by him, comes back to help out on the tackle, gain of 19.
Wade Phillips can't believe it. He called the perfect blitz here. Hamlin's going to come right off the edge, and you got to make this tackle. I don't know where he's running. He's running to darkness there. There's nobody out there, and Bradshaw just jumped back inside him. So as well as the Cowboys played on defense in the first half, they're starting to look like what they did against Tampa Bay a week ago now.
Lombardi said run to daylight. You just coined run to darkness. Newman's back in the game. He's at the bottom of the screen. They give it to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw somehow staying on his feet, keeps those legs churning. Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and just with an individual effort takes the ball to the 11-yard line.
Well, we're back in that red zone now for the New York Giants, where they simply have not gotten it done. They haven't gotten it done this season, really, and it's surprising for a football team. And talked to Tom Coughlin last night. He said in the games, they've won 2 of the last 5 games against the Cowboys, and in those games they were 7 for 7 down in the red zone, and so far tonight struggling.
Jacobs is the back here, 2nd down and 7. You got Smith and Manningham on the same side, but only for the moment, because now Smith comes in motion to the right side. And Manning will throw it to the right side, and that pass is incomplete. He tried to hit his fullback, Madison Hedgecock, coming out of the backfield, and he gets cold-cocked by Brooking.
Boy, the Cowboys were lucky on that one. A couple of defenders ran into each other in man coverage, and all of a sudden everybody was wide open, and Eli just didn't see it. Check out Terrence Newman back in the game. When Smith makes his break, they've got a collision with Sensabaugh, and everybody on the field standing wide open, and they don't hit it.
3rd down and 7. Stack 3 receivers to the right. Eli throws short and almost has that one picked off at the 10-yard line. That's incomplete. Brady James was there. 4th down, in comes the field goal unit.
Almost looked like Eli didn't see this guy until he started his release and then tried to hold on to it. Like a little concrete in the elbows on a free throw.
Yep.
You know, when I was like, I didn't see him. But really, you have to say the story of the first half of this game was the fact that Eli Manning outplayed Tony Romo. That was really the difference, but they just cannot score touchdowns once they get inside the 20.
29-yard attempt. Jeff Fiegels to hold it 4 times. And that kick is no good. An easy 29-yarder, and Wade Phillips and this crowd jointly pumped up. Cowboys get it back. Jerry wipes his brow. It's a record-setting night because you can seat 80,000. You can put a lot more in with party passes. 105,121, largest crowd to ever witness a regular season game, and a beaming Jerry Jones. That breaks a record that was set in Mexico, and I mentioned before the old record in the United States, the LA Coliseum in 1957. And on 1st down, after the missed field goal, the Cowboys with Jones in front of this record crowd with a gain of 25 to the 45-yard line.
Well, maybe some of the heat taking its toll on the defenses here. But Felix Jones, my goodness, this is what this crowd has been waiting for. His season got cut short last year. They came with a blitz to the inside. Very little support left to the outside. But look at all the missed tackles. Felix Jones is just one of those guys. He is electric in the open field. Averaged about 7.8 yards a carry in college and doing the same thing in the pros.
Run it draw. They run it with all of their backs, and this time it is Jones. He gets taken down by Michael Boley. Largest crowds tonight, number one. Then you go back to that game in Mexico when the 49ers and Cardinals went there in 05, 103,000. And then think about it. People say, well, Los Angeles won't support football. That is complete garbage. 52 years ago, 102,000 showed up Rams 49ers. The Rams used to draw 100,000 or more than 90 with some regularity. So Jerry accepts some accolades. And it probably won't be the only time they'll put six figures into this stadium this season. Second down and 8. From the 46-yard line, Romo throws. And that's caught at the 50 by Martellus Bennett. Just a postscript on Los Angeles. What is it about? It's about a stadium. You have a stadium, you have a team, period. Nashville proved it. Jacksonville proved it. Charlotte proved it. And, of course, when you talk about stadiums, they rewrote the book here.
Let me get this straight now. Where do you live again?
I know a little bit about it.
You'd like a couple of home games is what you're saying.
Why not?
Jerry Jones getting some of that $1.1 billion back.
That's right. And you wonder about regular season. The reason it said regular season is that there were 112,000 at a preseason game in Mexico featuring the Cowboys in '94. And that pass is caught by Patrick Creighton at the 50-yard line.
Well, this is one of the favorite coverages here for the New York Giants. They show blitz, and then Antonio Pierce is going to jet his way back underneath the receiver on this side. So they blitz off the corner, and then it's Pierce's job to get out there and cover that slot. That time he does it very effectively, and the Cowboys have to punt.
Matt McBriar to do the booting. And that's fair caught at the 6-yard line by Ahmad Bradshaw. So the Giants start deep in their own territory, up by 3 with 9:15 left in the third. Much like Lovie Smith in Chicago, who took over the defensive play calling and in effect became the de facto defensive coordinator. Same situation with Wade Phillips here. He's taken over the defense. He is not only in effect the defensive coordinator, he's also on the mic sending in the defensive signals to the linebacker Brady James. From the 6-yard line, the Giants begin with a Jacobs run. And that time Newman is able to get there much better.
Yeah, faked me out once and not again. That time Terrence Newman came up and made a really solid tackle on Brandon Jacobs. He did get outside, and it was left up to Newman to make this play, and he did it. Check this out. Very nice.
Terrence Newman, #1 pick. Back in '03, 7th year out of Kansas State. Second and 8. Eli under pressure, and then Hedgecock turned around a little too late. Eli was getting pressure from up the middle and had to release it quickly, and Hedgecock couldn't turn around in time. Third down and 8.
Well, that time they're coming on a blitz with Brady James coming right up the gut here. And Eli just had to get rid of that a little quicker than what he wanted to, but they also had the good fortune of having DeMarcus Ware drop into coverage on that side. He only does it about 10-15% of the time. They just guessed right that time.
Third and 8.
See what 105,000 sounds like.
Like an airport runway. And Eli's going to take a timeout. Timeout. 8.5 to go in the third. Family Manning represented tonight by Mama Olivia, Archie's wife, and Abby Manning, who married Eli a little over a year ago. They're looking on. Eli had to take a timeout there. Third down and 8 from the 8-yard line. Manning hit as he throws into double coverage, and that's incomplete. Cowboys doing the job on both ends. putting the pressure on and covering the receiver, and you've got a flag down at the 12-yard line.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 54, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That is Bobby Carpenter. So instead of having the Giants punt from deep in their own end, first down.
Bobby Carpenter, who's been a bit of a disappointment, former #1 draft pick, right off to the right, is going to grab a little jersey. And he got his arm out there. Didn't slow him down.
Little irony there. His father played for the Giants. Rob Carpenter.
Tough call.
First and 10. 8:25 to go. Third quarter. Ball at the 13-yard line. Manning off that pump fake. Throws into coverage. And the pass is incomplete. Intended for Steve Smith. And a flag comes in very late after the play.
Yeah, well, Terrence Newman turned back into Steve Smith there. And if you cut off this route at the top end of it, they're going to call it. They're going to have a little discussion. It's a close call. It's a tough call. But when Newman turned back in and didn't look for the ball.
Defense number 41. The start of the foul. Automatic. First down.
I like the call. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was when I saw it for the first time. Instead of turning back to Terrence Newman's left, he turns back into Steve Smith and cuts off his path to the ball. That is pass interference. That's a nice call.
And the call came in very late. It's a 34-yard penalty. And Phillips' reaction says it all. The ball taken across the 50-yard line. Brandon Jacobs, that's a gain of 5.
Well, David Deal obviously fighting the crowd noise out here, but watch what he does. He has to sort of look out, look in. He's got DeMarcus Ware out there, but when it comes time to snap the ball, check him out. His eyes are straight ahead so he can see both ways. And that's how he battles the crowd noise. He's having a good game tonight.
Yeah, he's had a few.
Yeah.
2nd and 6 from the 49. Jacobs, he's gets spun down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. That's DeMarcus Ware who made the initial contact. It will be 3rd down and 5 at the Dallas 48-yard line.
Check out Jay Ratliff with the penetration he gets from the nose tackle position. He is just going to shoot right in this gap, and really nobody can slow him down. He just sort of turns sideways in there. Nice run by Jacobs to get around it, but because he had to divert his path, the rest of the Cowboys were able to catch up. No wonder he's a Pro Bowler.
3rd down call at 6. Less than 7 minutes to play in the 3rd. Blitz coming. Manning. And that time the tackle is made on Manningham as Newman trails him parallel to the line of scrimmage and makes sure that Manningham, who's been getting away all night from tacklers, doesn't get away this time.
That was a great play by Terrence Newman. Watch the speed to catch up. He has to go over the top of his own guy and just is too fast. That is the blazing speed. That's what you get with a #1 draft pick. And he is not happy over there on the sideline. He did not like that pass interference call. I think is what he's most upset about.
Fiegels to punt. And Fiegels will have that one fair caught at the 16-yard line by Patrick Creighton. Well, there's 2 penalties, very costly, because now the Cowboys, instead of getting the ball in midfield, are pinned deep. Veronica saves lives. Olivia protects them. Together they get the job done. It's the premiere of Mercy and the return of SVU. And that's Wednesday in prime time right here on the National Broadcasting Company. 6:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. Felix Jones is the running back as the Cowboys start from the 17-yard line. Romo stepping up. Dumps it underneath and too high. Intended for Jones. And meanwhile for the Giants, a look at Justin Tuck, and we go to Andrea.
Well, Justin Tuck, looks like Tom Coughlin was too optimistic in the half about his return. His left arm is in a sling. X-rays on his shoulder were negative, an MRI likely tomorrow, but he is done for the night, guys.
And that means more of Matthias Kiwanuka, who can go from outside linebacker to defensive end.
You can see his left arm gets extended here when Flozell trips him, and that left arm reaches out. It probably just put too much pressure on that joint. It's a big loss.
And Jones will take off, and that home run hitter is into Giant territory and finally dragged down at the 25-yard line by Thomas and Webster. "56 yards for Felix Jones out of Arkansas."
The Cowboys love this intentional cutback play. You can see Deion Anderson, the fullback, start right, all the motion, all the handoff action goes right, and then he cuts left, and the big guy Felix Jones gets out there. I'm surprised he got caught. That was a heck of a play by the Giants to track him down.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Ball at the 27-yard line. And Romo will turn and give the ball to Barber, and Barber will cut to the near side, and Barber will be taken down, and he's close to a first down before he gets run out of bounds by Kenny Phillips.
Giants are starting to lose contain on the outside that time. And Marion Barber, with that nasty stiff arm of his, picked up 10 yards where he really probably shouldn't have had any. Right at the point of contact on the outside, he's going to get a good stiff arm there against Thomas. And that loss of contain cost the Giants there.
From the 17. Barber again. Inside the 10, inside the 5, and Barber is taken out of bounds at the 2-yard line by Webster and Phillips.
Kyle Kozar and Flozell Adams are blowing huge holes open, but watch this cut by Marion Barber. You talk about look like a crab going sideways here. He's going to start to the right. Anderson back the same way. Jump back over in that hole and re-accelerate. And Jason Witten fakes down inside, and then he goes to work on the outside against Michael Johnson. What a drive so far by the Cowboys.
Barber behind Anderson, and no, the Giants are right there to stuff it. For a minimal loss, it'll be second down and goal. Kiwanuka is in on the play. Second down and goal upcoming.
It's just a wild game, isn't it? I mean, just kind of flying up and down and big plays. And a lot of excitement. It's been fun.
A lot of turning points. Against the Giants, a lot of success in the red zone over the last 2 seasons. Romo out of the gun on second and goal. Williams to the left. Austin flank to the right with Creighton in the slot to the left. They also want to draw with Barber as well. They fake the draw to the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Patrick Creighton. That'll make it third down and goal.
I know Tony Romo didn't want to take a chance on this one, but man, he threw that one like a Nolan Ryan fastball. Creighton's going to get the inside release and just going up the field, but that couldn't even get his hands up on time. Check out Tony. Zip. It's a little too hard.
You heard it.
Yeah.
Third and goal. Gun again. And Romo on a quarterback draw. Touchdown Dallas. Jason Garrett spread them out. If they don't run the draw to Barber, you don't think about Romo. And look at that opening.
Yeah, 4 wide over here, and then Kyle Kozar is going to come down and seal off the last of them. And a walk-in for Tony Romo. Great call, Jason Garrett.
Nick Folk tacks on the extra point, and with 3.5 to play in the third, the Cowboys 83 yards, all rushing on that drive. Lead by 4. Sunday Night Football from Arlington, Texas, brought to you by Sears. Sears, life well spent. By Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Subway, eat fresh. By U.S. Bank. Since 1863, the dreams of millions have taken off with U.S. Bank. And by Toyota, moving forward. Of course, the Cowboy cheerleaders have come over. You saw their digs, the locker rooms here. There they are.
Yeah, you know what? They are great ambassadors for the game, though. They go over on USO trips all the time, and obviously the guys are a little excited when they show up.
Very. And that kickoff goes through the end zone, and that's why they drafted David Beeler. Rarely will you spend a fifth-round draft choice on a guy to kick off, but they did, and it's paid off. So next Sunday, to the desert we go, and the Cardinals had a big one today at Jacksonville on the road. Peyton Manning and the Colts will be in town. Bob will be with us. Kurt Warner today had a great day in Jacksonville. 92%. There he was, 24 out of 26. Indy comes off a win last week, and then they'll play the Monday nighter at Miami. So it's Peyton Manning and the Colts and the Arizona Cardinals, the NFC champs, next Sunday night. Ahmad Bradshaw is the back, and he gets backed up. That is Igor Olshansky, former San Diego Chargers, stuffing him.
What did Wade Phillips say about Olshansky? Tough like bull. That dude, you can forget about it. Everybody has a gap. If you run in his gap, you're coming out the other way. He is not going to move. Not the greatest pass rusher in the world, but you want to run, you better run somewhere else.
Yeah, that's no bull.
Yeah.
Second down and 10. From the 20. Fake to Bradshaw, pressure on. Eli stepping up and stepping away and throwing on the run, but too high. Had the man open too. That was Steve Smith. Good job by Manning to escape the Brady James would-be sack, but then he overthrows Steve Smith.
Boy, Brady James has found a hole now over here on the outside, coming through the gap. He has been getting a lot of pressure on Eli. Eli steps up and just completely misses the throw. Pretty wide open, and I don't think Eli can believe he missed that one.
Manning a little over 50% tonight, 13 of 24 for 162. Third and 10. Dump it off to Bradshaw, and Bradshaw breaks out of a tackle, but doesn't have enough for the first down. It was Ratliff who almost got him down at the line of scrimmage or behind, but still the Cowboys are able to force a giant punt.
You know, there's been so much made out of these punts possibly hitting the scoreboard, and really maybe 10 feet's about as close as we've seen one come tonight.
Yeah. Now that I'm in here, as opposed to looking at it on television, it's harder than you think, because that scoreboard is not nearly as wide as you would think. And Fiegel's kick is angled toward the near side, and that was an optical illusion. Really didn't come anywhere near the board, and it is out of bounds. Not a good kick, because they're going to mark it at the 43-yard line. So a bad kick for Jeff Fiegel's, a rare one for him, and that one is 30 yards.
I tell you what, this has been the story of the year so far for the New York Giants. That is 6 red zone trips in 2 games, and they only have 12 points to show for it. Mario Manningham, a couple of big plays from outside the red zone, but when this team with the #1 rushing attack in football can't score inside the 20, that's what leaves you in positions like this.
Well, you can make a little too much of missing Plaxico Burress, but that's why they bogged down in the red zone at the end of last season. First and 10 from the 43-yard line. Romo stepping away, buying time, throws complete, and that is Michael Johnson whacking Sam Hurd after he makes the catch.
Well, when you get back to the basics of your offense, which is turning around, handing it off behind that big offensive line, it works. And really, it was this same intentional cutback play that pretty much wore out the Giants. The Giants are trying to over-pursue. You see them starting right. The fullback, the tailback, both cutting back left. When you have big Flozell Adams out there in a bad mood, sometimes good things happen.
Second and a deuce. Here's Barber. And we'll see where they spot it. Either third and short or moving the chains.
You know, Marion Barber in the past in the fourth quarter was such a dynamic factor, but I think because last year he started to play more in the first 3 quarters of the games, his numbers in the fourth quarter weren't nearly as good as what they had been.
To illustrate that, there it is. Fourth quarter in 07, 5-1. He had a toe injury toward the end of last year, so that was a mitigating factor. Mike Carey's going to bring the chains in here. That's a first down. You know, Chris, when Parcells was here with Barber, you know, he was a great closer. I mean, you'd bring him in and he would just, the defense was worn down and he just beat the hell out of it at the end of a game. But now they've got Felix Jones and Tachard Choice. I mean, they've got a nice little 3-headed attack going.
You know, I think it's a little like Devin Hester with the Chicago Bears. You know, once he was made an every down wide receiver, some of the kick returns were hurt. And so, I mean, you know, you want an every down back, you're going to pay a price.
At the 46 on first down, Hurd in motion. Romo, a lot of time. Romo going deep, and only Giants are there. And it's picked off at the 4 by Kenny Phillips. And his second of the night and the third Romo interception. And now Pierce wants a foul at the end of the play. The pass intended for Sam Hurd, but the Giants with great coverage. And another bad pass by Romo.
Kenny Phillips was standing right underneath this. Looked like a punt back to him. He's so deep. There's no way that Tony Romo saw him on this play, because he kind of play fakes off to the right. Witten's going to hook up, and they're going to try and hit that deep cross. And Kenny Phillips did everything but fair catch that one. Tony Romo just never saw him. You say, how can that happen? And sometimes it happens. He just absolutely never saw him.
Well, he sees him beat the corner, and then it looks like maybe Hurd had blocked out the safety on the play.
I don't know. Tough night tonight for Tony Romo, though. Really, but for his mistakes, the Cowboys have dominated at times.
27-yard line, first and 10. Waning moments of the third quarter. Jacobs, the back. Fake to him. Eli's going to go deep, and Eli's going to man out in front, and it will be caught by Manningham, who beats Scandrick and hauls it in, and Scandrick makes the tackle at the 24-yard line. So the Giants get the pick and then strike right back. And that'll be the end of the quarter as Mrs. Manning looks on. But a good end for the Giants to the third quarter despite trailing by 4. A first down at the Dallas 24. Sunday Night Football back after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by Duracell. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer. We start the fourth quarter at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Been a good game. Dallas on top by 4. And LeBron James is in the house tonight.
It's not a party unless he's here.
Makes it official.
Yeah.
You're at 105,000 over here. Get on over. Meanwhile, after that long completion to Manningham, who tonight has caught 8 passes for 117 yards. First and 10 at the Cowboy 25-yard line. Jacobs to the 21, and let's go back to that long pass that ended the third quarter.
Well, you know, Brandon Jacobs got the running game going, and watch this time Ken Hamlin here as Jacobs goes to play fake this way. He's going to get frozen in space there and give Mario Manningham enough chance to get up and get by him. It's the one thing when you study tape of the Dallas Cowboys, their safeties like to take chances. They like to come up. They like to get involved in the running game. And sometimes your corners pay the price.
Second down and 8. Jacobs. And he gets stripped down from behind. Feet taken out from underneath him by DeMarcus Ware.
Mario Manningham on the tail end of this one, and everybody's eyes start getting big when that ball's coming in there. And I do mean everybody.
Abby checking it out. Third down and 8 at the 22. Good protection. Eli with time. Wide open is Smith. And he will dive into the end zone to put the Giants on top again.
What a move by Steve Smith. Earlier I told you, Al, this kid's one of the great route runners I've seen. But he just simply put the little okey doke right here on Scandrick. Out,
Ooh.
up, goodbye. And a little icing on the cake there on the tail end. The Cowboys don't blitz there. Bring just 4. The safety split wide and can't get back.
That's 6 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown tonight for a guy who may not be known as the other Steve Smith for too much longer. Of course, the other Steve Smith is the Carolina wide receiver, the perennial Pro Bowler. Touchdown for the Giants, and the lead by 3. Sunday Night Football brought to you by DirecTV. Get every game every Sunday only on DirecTV. By Wendy's, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. By Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network. And by Miller Lite, there's light beer. Then there's Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Only in Texas. Those are the cage dancers. Now they're apart from the cheerleaders. So what's the deal? Is that like AAA? You become a cage dancer? And then you work your way up to cheerleader?
I don't know, but for those fans with the cheap seats standing in behind, everybody gets some entertainment.
Plenty to enjoy here at Jerry World.
It is a show, and so is this
Yes,
football
it is.
game, Ben.
Great.
I mean, this has just been a lot of fun, up and down the field, a lot of big plays.
Cowboys were offside on the extra points. They tack on the 5 yards on the kickoff here, and it's fielded in the end zone by Jones. And Jones to the near side of the field will get popped out of bounds by Johnson at the 18-yard line.
Bruce Johnson forcing him out of bounds.
Giants tonight with 4 takeaways, and those have led to 24 of the 27 points. Romo's been picked 3 times. Then you had the fumble by Jones on the run back. And one other very interesting note in tonight's game, these 2 teams 1-2 in sacks since 07. Don't have a sack between them tonight. There were 20 sacks in the 2 games last year. Of course, there were 8 of Manning in the 1 game at Texas Stadium. The toss back. Jones. And very little room to roam there. Michael Johnson, the safety, comes up to make the hit.
Well, there's no question that as well as Tony Romo played last week against Tampa, he is playing that poorly here tonight. And a season ago, he had 13 fumbles on the year, second most in the NFL, lost 7 of those, which is tied for the most. He also had 14 interceptions despite missing 3 games. But these turnovers, and especially by Tony Romo, have just been the difference. Now that one's a little fluky there. You can't really blame him, but even that was a throw behind Jason Witten.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Four-man rush. And it's enough of a rush that Romo gets it away, and then OCU and Ura comes in and pops him at the end. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Well, OCU Manura saying I was that close on that one. He's coming off the edge over here. And he just goes with that strong inside moves. And I tell you what, Flozell Adams almost tripped him again. He almost got his 2nd trip of the game. Stuck that leg out one more time.
The first trip cost Justin Tuck the rest of the night.
Such a big man. He has trouble adjusting when they get that inside move going.
3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun. Everybody into the pattern. Romo slings it to the outside. The coverage is very good. And the pass for Creighton is incomplete. And it's a very rapid 3 and out for a frustrated Romo in the Cowboys.
I'm going to tell you what, though. Tony Romo's made some bad throws. That was brilliant. Double coverage. Watch how tight this one is. He's going to get this into Creighton, and this is the tiniest hole he's seen all night, and it's right there. That's a play Creighton has to make. You keep the ball, keep the drive alive. That's a huge drop. Got to make that one.
Matt McBriar to punt. And that's fielded at the 34-yard line by Bradshaw. Forced out in front of the Cowboy bench. 42. We have 12:24 left in the 4th. The Giants up by 3. Last week, comedy came to prime time, and this week it's going to be Jay Leno. Comedy weeknights. He has that green car challenge. Somehow, Costas and I got roped into racing in the parking lot on Wednesday's show.
Hey. Don't let him take you into the wall. That's a nasty son of a gun over
Prost
there
and
now.
Ayrton Senna. Here we go. Formula 1. This is Amon Bradshaw.
Did you get some idea of how much he loves football? He had the conversation going on over there in the luxury suites. He's enjoying the party down here this weekend. He's really having fun. Great having him out on the road with us.
Terrific. Got to run off on the 101 after the show.
Only if you guys have a flight. I know both of you.
Under 12 minutes to play. 2nd down and 11. The Giants have the ball at the 40-yard line.
Well, Eli's got him in a blitz. If the Cowboys don't check out of it.
They check out of it. 4-man rush. And the pass is still there. And that is the budding star, Mario Manningham. You don't want to make too much too early of this kid. Well, what a night for him. 25 yards. Manningham has now caught 9 passes for 142 yards.
You know, Eli thought he had the man coverage going, so he goes to that Super Bowl play. Remember that one? Plexico Burris, the little sluggo, the slant and go. But it was really his own, and they got it in there anyway. Manningham just keeps going up and making plays, and I think they may have found their #1 receiver.
And Steve Smith also had a very good night as well. 6 catches for 103.
So is Eli.
Yep. And that with Hickson out of the game early. From the 34-yard line, Bradshaw again. And the Cowboys whiff on a tackle. And that's another 1st down because it was Orlando Scandrick who's gotten burned on a few plays tonight, who came up and did the Olay.
Well, Anthony Spencer's going to come right off the edge here, but his job is contained. He's out there coming after the quarterback. But you remember watching the Pittsburgh Steelers, those outside linebackers, how they squeeze that thing down in there? You got to make it easier for those defensive ends to make plays. And when Spencer's running up the field, he's leaving a big gap in there.
At the 23. Bradshaw. Giants with Jacobs, and last year, remember they had Derek Ward, and Ward had a 1,000-yard season. When you do, you're going to get some money someplace else, and he wound up getting it at Tampa Bay. But you still have Bradshaw behind him, and Danny Ware's another guy they want to work into that as well. But Ware got hurt, dislocated his elbow last week on the opening kickoff of the season.
And pretty good contrast between Jacobs and Bradshaw. Boy, when you get used to Jacobs, all of a sudden the little quickness of Bradshaw looks like a lot of quickness.
2nd and 9. Jacobs going to cut it back. They're going to wrap him up as he reaches the 20-yard line.
Junior Sevilla out there making the play, the backup nose tackle, and What a story he is. 3 years out of football. He decided that this was it. He put everything he had into this one season. He said, if I get cut one more time, I'm done with it. I'm going on with my life's work. Really impressed him in camp and has played well out here tonight.
3rd down and 7. 8:45 left in regulation. Manning stepping up, stepping away, turning back, throwing after doing a 360, and he gets rid of the ball but short of the first down. That's Steve Smith coming back to make the catch, and the Giants will send in the field goal group.
Eli's turned into Ben Roethlisberger on us here. Check this scramble out. Out around Steve Smith, coming in, coming out. Eli a little pirouette. Got a completion. That was pretty good. Yeah. I like that play. Not quite as good as Donovan McNabb, that one Monday night game you had, but not bad.
Wow. Where he ran about 173 yards.
Yeah.
This will be a 36-yard attempt to give the Giants a 6-point lead. Times. And this kick is good. After we had missed one from 29, he makes this one from 36. 7.5 to play. Giants by 6. Wade Phillips trying to get to postseason and trying to win a postseason game for the first time. And Tom Coughlin, who took over the Jacksonville Jaguars in their infancy and then came to the Giants and won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Locked up. The Giants and the Cowboys, a great rivalry through the years. Cowboys in their 50th season as Jones brings it back up to the 30-yard line. Tony Romo in the 4th quarter of games last season had the best passer rating in the NFL.
Well, he's going to have that number and more to just get back to average here tonight, because 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. But, you know, because of the fact that the Giants are not scoring touchdowns, once again in the red zone, once again kicking a field goal, they are giving the Cowboys an opportunity.
Starting from the 29-yard line, Barber is the running back. He gets it, gets a big hole, and gets a first down. Picks up a dozen yards out to the 41-yard line before he's taken down by Antonio Pierce.
Boy, the fullback Deion Anderson is having a game out here tonight. Huge block in the hole, man against man, just old-fashioned football. Watch number 34, this intentional cutback play again. Gets just enough there. Big block against a defensive end. Nice play.
From the 40, the draw, Farmer this time. Cowboys and the Giants met 36 times in Texas Stadium, which opened back in 1971, and the Giants happy to get out of there. They were 11-25 at Old Texas Stadium. And there was a shot of Texas Stadium, and there it is on Thursday, opening in 71. And before that, the Cowboys, when they came into the league as an expansion team in 1960, the same year the American Football League started, Cowboys coming over to the NFL. The Cowboys played at the Cotton Bowl. 2nd down and 8. Almost throws, and that pass is incomplete. What does Omaha mean? It used to be Lincoln, and now you're going to Omaha, right?
I don't know. It's everybody's favorite word, but right now we're seeing the Dallas Cowboys with their 2 tight end front on the outside. When the Giants don't go nickel, they bring those guys back inside, and now they're going to create some individual matchups that they like. At that time, Roy Williams, and that's probably the weakness of what he does. Some of those routes, he doesn't have all the quickness. I think he's a much better receiver when he's in vertical routes, when he's trying to get down the field. But he and Romo have worked so hard on trying to create some timing between them, and it's still a work in progress.
Romo has only 11 passing yards in this half. And And he'll add to that here as Witten makes a key grab on a 3rd and 8 for a first down in Giants territory. Gets tackled by Michael Johnson at the 45-yard line.
Well, when all else fails, you know where Tony Romo is going. They thought he was going in behind into that deep middle, and then he just arrows back out of it. And I go back to Antonio Pierce, who said that there's just something about this guy. He's not that fast, he's not that quick, but every time you put on the tape, he is always open. And there he was again.
5.5 left. Barber on a draw. It's taken down by big Fred Robbins, number 98, gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 next.
I think the Cowboys have found a little something here. They're taking their 2 tight ends and they're splitting them out, and the Giants are flanking people out there with them, and as soon as they go to that formation, Romo comes back in and does the handoff. So they are just playing a game off of whatever it is the Giants defensively want to do.
42-yard line.
Back to the 3 wide out set here.
Barber inside the 35, a first down, inside the 20, chased by Johnson, and he falls down inside the 10-yard line. Bruce Johnson chasing him. It looked like Barber might have started to stumble a little bit at the end.
Well, Antonio Pierce was trying to make an audible. He's trying to call a blitz to come over here, but Tony Romo beats him to the punch. They go the wrong way. Now the question is, did this ball come out before he's touched? It's pretty clear Marion Barber looks like he pulls a muscle there, and he goes down, and when does this ball come out?
Right.
It came out when he hit the ground, but was contact made right there, and I think it will be down, but that was close.
Very close. I think he pulled a quad muscle. Now they give the ball to Felix Jones, and he goes in for a touchdown. So Barber does all the heavy lifting, that 35-yard run, and then Jones pays it off, and the Cowboys can take the lead with the extra point.
Sorry, I'll check out Kozar coming into the hole and just absolutely wiping out Danny Clark. Great blocks inside. The left guard pulls around, and look at that block. Oh, my goodness. That's the 2nd touchdown block tonight that Kyle Kozar's had.
Nick Folk, McBriar puts it down, and Folk's kick will give Dallas a 1-point lead. Great game to open up this facility. 3:40 left in regulation. 31-30 Cowboys. To Arizona we go for the first Sunday night game that we've brought you from Glendale, Arizona. It's Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner, and the Cardinals hosting Peyton Manning and the Colts. We'll all get it started. Football Night in America, 7 o'clock Eastern time next week.
Are Sunday night games always this much fun? Every game we've done so far has been great.
Pretty good. We're on a pretty good roll here. And so is Beeler, the kickoff guy they drafted out of USC, 4 yards into the end zone. And Sonoris Moss will bring it back out to the 25. The Giants have been shredded on the ground tonight. The Cowboys in this half alone have rushed for 173 yards. Take a look at that. On the ground tonight, Dallas 251 yards. Most on the ground in any game since 1993. So it's 16 years ago at Philadelphia. And it's time to play too, so they'll probably add to that figure.
Well, it's Eli time again here now.
Cowboys have the lead despite being -4 in the turnover ratio department. Giants have not turned the ball over tonight. Romo's thrown 3 picks, and there's been a fumble as well. From the 25. 4-man rush. Dump it underneath to Kevin Boss. And Kevin Boss with a flag down back at the 23-yard line for the moment. would have picked up a first down pending the call. Last minute consultation with Mike Carey.
Big call too. First down or first and 20.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Personal foul, leg whip on number 80 is declined. Holding by the offense, number 69 is accepted. 10 yards, still first down.
That's on Seubert, the holding call. Check it out.
Good Seibert right here. Let's see what we get. Guess it happens right there.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't see it there, but there is a leg whip right there from Hagan.
Wow.
So that makes it first and 20, and the Giants are back at their own 15-yard line.
I thought they were both tough calls.
Manning throws. That's caught. Bradshaw. And he gets taken down outside. That's Ratliff, the nose tackle, going outside to cover the back in the flat.
Pretty amazing when you see a nose tackle cover in the flat, a very quick back. Look at number 90. The nose tackle go out there and make that play. We've been showing you all the penetration all night long. What kind of a defensive scheme, what kind of a madman draws that one up? Well, only if you got a guy like that can make that play.
He's 105 pounds heavier than the guy he's covering.
Goodness gracious.
Second and 18. Crowd in full throat. All 105,000. Manning pressured. Throws on the run. And that's caught by Derek Hagan. So Hagan getting to play in the game at this point of the game again because of the injury earlier on to Dominic Hickson. Otherwise, Hagan would be on the bench.
Or this Giant offensive line, after taking all the abuse the last time these two teams played here, giving up 8 sacks has been brilliant. They have just absolutely been brilliant. Keeping the quarterback clean, that time Eli buying some time. And it really comes down to this play.
And you saw that news for the Cowboys. If they get the ball back and are trailing, Barber is done for the night. And now a timeout is taken here before a 3rd down and 6. And the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes. Wendy's post-game report will follow. Bob here in Arlington, the gang back in New York. There's no timeout taken. It was the 2-minute warning. The Giants have 2 timeouts. Remember, they took one earlier. And if they don't make a first down here, there is going to be a very tough decision for Tom Coughlin to make. Do you go for it on 4th down? Or do you punt it away and use your 2 timeouts and hope to stop him? He hopes it's moot. He hopes they can complete one here. And they do. So we'll never know the answer to that because it's caught by Steve Smith up at the 39-yard line.
Well, Mr. Reliable one more time. He is sort of become the Amani Toomer of this team as they come back up with the hurry up.
At the 40-yard line again, all the Giants need is a field goal so they can milk a little bit of the clock on their way down the field. Plenty of time with 2 timeouts. And that pass is caught, and then it is dropped. Manningham had it initially. Scandrick was all over him, and he never had it. Incomplete.
I think that's a break for the Giants.
Yes, it is.
You know, that's a 2-yard completion. You can see Manningham basically waving his arms, trying to talk the official into an incompletion. That's about the strangest looking thing I've ever seen.
Right, and you would have stayed in bounds, and the clock would have kept running.
So far, the Cowboys staying with a 4-man pressure. They haven't brought any blitzes yet.
2nd and 10 from the 40.
They do now.
Now they show blitz. Manning throws, and that is caught, and that'll be a first down, and that is caught by Kevin Boss, the tight end. He's tackled by Sensabaugh, and the ball is now in Cowboy territory, ticking down to 1:15 left.
Kevin Boss, what he lacks for quickness, is pretty good in the open field once he gets running, and just ran away from Sensabaugh there.
From the 47. Four-man rush. Manning throws, caught, stopped at the 41 is Smith by Jenkins.
Eli totally under control. Just looks like he's so comfortable in this situation, and we certainly have seen this one before.
The first down away from field goal range, and Manning will throw, and that pass is high. It's incomplete, intended for Steve Smith, and the clock stops with 39 seconds.
What do you call that? Putting the kibosh on him?
Exactly.
I mean, that was wide open, and he missed it. And I think that Smith would have had not only room to make the catch there, but also the ability to get out of bounds. He had the entire sideline open to his side. That was a big miss.
And you see Tynes loosening up. He told Andrea before the game he thinks it's 53 yards in this direction. That's his range. It's also his career long. And that timeout taken on defense. Dallas will spend a timeout. So with 39 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, 2 timeouts remaining now for each team. Well, you're going to open up a palace that costs $1.1 billion. You need a game like this. Heck of a game.
Good show, absolutely. You know, but for the Cowboys, I think that timeout might be good for them. I was watching their pass rushers, and they were clearly getting exhausted. It's hot out here tonight, and that 2-minute offense coming down the field. So now you get the situation where your guys catch their breath a little bit. Maybe you finally get a little pressure on Eli.
Do you blitz them? I mean, they've been sending 4.
I don't think you have a choice, because really you need, what, about 5-6 yards here in this situation. So if you just sit back and let them work the zones, it's pretty easy to find a hole out there.
Third down, 4. From the 41.
They're coming.
And it's looked like it was tipped and caught in the 33-yard line by Mario Manningham. So a first down with half a minute to go. And at the 33-yard line, you're now looking at about a 51-yard field goal. Again, the Giants with 2 timeouts. Manning over the middle, and that gets them clearly within range for Tynes as Steve Smith makes the catch, and they stop the clock with 13 seconds remaining in the fourth period.
I'll tell you what, Eli Manning is just putting on a show out here. Sometimes it takes a lucky break along the way when you get a good drive going. Third down. They're going to get a hand on this ball right here.
They are. Yes, sir.
That's Ratliff. And one of the tough things for Mike Jenkins, you have to know the situation there. When you're talking about you're bringing a blitz, you cannot let those slants beat you. That's most teams' hot reads in that situation, and he had to realize what it was. Steve Smith then picking up the big first down and getting him a lock in field goal range. Everybody's hard.
Mother and wife, and it's not over yet. And the Giants have been the masters of deflection tonight. They had the deflected Romo pass off Witten's foot that led to an interception, the juggling catch in the end zone for a touchdown, and now a deflected pass that winds up in the receiver's hands. The ball is at the 21-yard line. The Giants have a timeout. And all Manning will do is milk the rest of the clock.
That was strictly so they didn't have to kick off after this field goal.
Right.
Now you take the timeout no matter what at 4 seconds. The game is over after this field goal attempt.
And here comes Tynes in. Fiegels will hold, and Zach Diassi will snap. Tynes tonight has made from 30, 28, and 36, and he also had that 29-yard miss. So Tynes last year got hurt, and then John Carney came in and kicked well enough to go to the Pro Bowl. But Tynes gets the job back. Carney goes to New Orleans, and now Tynes can become the hero the second week of the season.
Well, and you know what's so significant about this one? If the Giants win on this kick, that means they'll have 2 wins, both against divisional opponents, and coming in here and knocking off the Cowboys. Can't get any bigger.
And they're beginning a 3-game road trip as well.
And Wade just said we should call a timeout. We're going to freeze them here. So right before this kick, I think you're going to get a timeout. Wade's going over to the official now.
37-yard attempt.
Wow.
Fiegel's got the high snap down, and the kick is
Wade
just
got the
inside.
timeout.
Well,
Wade got the timeout.
he did. They got the timeout. So
It's
he
not over.
Timeout. Dallas.
Leaps into a teammate's arms. They get the timeout at the very
30
end.
seconds timeout.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wade waited till the last millisecond. I'm telling you, I wasn't sure he got it off in time.
Right.
Wade Phillips is standing right next to the official, and when he calls for this timeout, the official reacts immediately. But Wade, I'm telling you, there was not a half a second between that timeout and the snap.
And Fiegel's got the high snap down, and then Tynes kicks it just inside the left upright. And you had the premature celebration, and now we'll have to do it again. To win the game. And it's good. And so the New York Giants can celebrate on the home turf, the new home turf of the Dallas Cowboys in a wild game. The Giants with 12 possessions tonight and 6 scores, 2 touchdowns, 4 field goals by Tynes, and at the gun, the Giants win it by a score of 33-31.
As a field goal kicker, you have to treasure the moment. You certainly did. Boy, what a great job, though, by Eli Manning on that last drive, taking them down the field for the game winner.
Eli throws for 330 tonight. And the Dallas Cowboys have the opening of the stadium spoiled by the Giants at the very end in a classic battle. 33-31. Coming up next, it's the Wendy's post-game report after these messages from your local NBC station.